friends? Today is Monday, February 18th, and this is your Motivational Monday video. So, today, let me adjust this a little bit. It's in between my legs. Um, Also, you'll notice my pink strobing lights behind me. I got some cute little LED pink lights, curtains that are like filling my room with positive love energy. But anyway, that is besides the point. Or is it, actually? So, today's going to be a little bit of story time for Motivational Monday. So, last night, I was catching up on one of my favorite shows that I kind of haven't really watched in a few months, but there were like 6 episodes that I stayed up watching last night of the TV show Empire. Just be prepared. There might be a couple of spoilers if you're an Empire fan and you haven't quite caught up. So I was watching Empire last night, and there was a scene about domestic violence. And long story short, it was about a mother who was being attacked by her son, and the people who came to help her, who were her sisters, called the police on her son, had him arrested, and the mother got mad at the sisters for calling the police on her son. And it really hit home for me and made me very emotional because I dealt with a similar situation growing up. And now it's about to get really personal. This video may take a little bit more than 5 minutes today, just because this is really on my heart. So I started crying watching this scene because I literally saw my past. Because I have a younger brother who was involved in drugs and gang activity. And my mother, she would always defend him and allow his behavior to be okay. Like, no matter, like, for me, it was hard because I'm doing what I can to protect my mother and protect my family. That's what I was trying to do as a young boy. And she would get mad at me for stepping in and not allowing him to disrespect her or her household. Now, as far as I know, my brother has never hit my mom, but he did sell drugs out of her house, and he did, like, he stole a car from her, he stole money from both of us, and did things that really shouldn't have been allowed to be done. And my mom is the type of person that likes to sweep things under the rug and act like they don't happen. And I'm not that kind of person. But it caused a huge rift between me and my brother that we still haven't quite healed from truly. And, God, this is a lot. But I just remember watching that video last night and just bawling because it never made any sense to me why she got mad at me for stepping in to help her. He literally disrespected her household in many different ways, shapes, and forms that I can't even speak upon. And it never made sense to me why she sided with him. And even now, I don't understand why she got mad at me for stepping in to help her. And there were times when she asked me to. So I thought that I was doing what was right. And then like, as I started crying last night and just really relived that moment, I really wish I could like find that episode and put a clip of it here in the video so that way you can see what I'm talking about, because literally what happened was my life. Oh my goodness. And then I started to think a little bit further, is that right now I'm really trying to focus on positivity and love energy, and I wonder sometimes, why am I not able to progress further than what I have? And sometimes I ask myself, like, why don't do I truly believe in myself the way I believe I do? And if I don't, why don't I believe in myself more? And I think it's because I grew up in a family that really didn't know how to share and express love, or really didn't know how to love. And that's just the truth. Like, if I look at everyone in my immediate family that I grew up around, they really didn't know how to share and express love. Their idea of love was material things, or I don't it just wasn't true, pure, agape, authentic love in any way, shape, or form. That's not to say that my family doesn't love each other or wouldn't go out of their way to do anything for each other, but it it isn't love in its purest form. It just there's something like I don't really know how to explain it. I'm still trying to figure it out. With my family. Um, but yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I never truly felt loved by my family. I always felt like the outcast because I was the musical theater kid, the artist, the gay one. And that's not them. So I always felt like they never really understood me. I never really felt understood by anybody in my life, to be quite honest. I always felt like I was different or an outcast from basically everyone I've ever known. But with my family in particular, that hits home for me because I love my family. I do. But it really makes sense that I just never truly felt loved by them. And I feel like because of that, that would explain like some of my relationships with men, and some like why sometimes I feel stuck. So I guess the point of this video is talking about getting to the root of the problem and allowing yourself to heal. Usually when I cry, I go to this deep, dark place of self-talk where I'm saying all these negative things to myself, like nobody loves me, woe is me, and all these different things. But last night I chose to, in the midst of that, say, this is healing. I need to hear these things. I need to have these revelations, because if I don't, then the cycle continues and I'll never heal. So sometimes we have to face our demons head on. Because I'll admit it, like last night when I felt myself about to cry, I tried to fight it. But I had to just let it happen so that way I could process what I was going through, what I had been through, and allow myself to heal. And even now, like, it's kind of like uncomfortable to talk about, as you can probably tell by my body language and the fact that I'm not really looking at the camera. But it's fact. And, like, I don't really talk about my family a lot. Probably because my mom is so easy to embarrass about anything that doesn't make her family look like the picture perfect family. But it's reality. And I also feel like that is one reason why my brother and I are the way we are, is because we had to sweep a lot under the rug. And you can put a Band-Aid over a gushing wound, but blood is still going to pour through, and that's not going to stop it from hurting. So eventually you have to rip that Band-Aid off, get your hydrogen peroxide, your antibiotical ointment, whatever it is, and clean it. So I guess this is my way of cleaning that wound. And we all have wounds. We all have to really ask ourselves, like, where do these insecurities and these issues root from? You really have to allow yourself to go there. It's uncomfortable to think about because we all want to believe that we had the picture perfect life growing up, and our parents loved us the way we wanted them to love us. And that's not to say that our parents don't love us. They sometimes people just really don't know how to express it. And their way of expressing it is not exactly what you need. So you just have to be able to forgive. Because in reality, like, my parents, in my opinion, did not love me the way I wanted to. My father and I never really connected. I never really felt that he was there for me. Um, we've never had that discussion about my sexuality. So as far as I know, he has no idea. He probably assumed, but we never had that conversation. And my mother, she was there, and she wasn't a bad mother, but she worked a lot, and sometimes I felt like, especially as a child, her way of expressing love was through material things. And, like, I really feel like, had she been there and pushed me harder when I was younger, that I probably would be so much further along. But then I also have to remind myself that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I just feel that it's so many different thoughts going through my mind. Like, I'm probably not making any sense today, but if anything, today's Motivational Monday was more like, let's sit down and talk. Because I got something on my heart. But right now, like, I'm focusing on a lot of healing and self-love. And I know this was a part of it. So, if you can relate to this story where you had to deal with things growing up with your family, you're not alone. It feels that way, but it's not entirely true. I'm sorry, I'm really having a hard time connecting with the camera today. And I'm not sad, I'm not upset. If anything, it's just a realization. Okay. I think that it's time to end because I definitely have gone over my 5-minute slot. So yeah, I'm going to post this, and hopefully you can take something from it. You can give me something. Let's start a conversation, however you feel. Yeah. So I guess today's point is, don't be afraid to get to the root of the problem. Sometimes you have to go way, 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 way back and really deal with some stuff that you didn't even realize was affecting you the way it was. Because we all have things that are blocking us, and they're usually things that are in our subconscious from the beginning of our current lives. So you sometimes just have to go back and deal with those situations. And I guess today this is my way of dealing with it. All right, I'll see you all next week. Have a good week.